Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple and efficient iron farm for Minecraft Bedrock. Let's go. These are the materials you will need to make this farm. Instead of using composters, you could swap this for any other type of villager job site block. First things first, you'll need to find a nice open and flat area. Please make sure it is fairly far away from any nearby villages, villager trading halls, or other villager related things, otherwise it could mess up and spawn the iron golems elsewhere. So this location here is fine because, as you see, the nearest village is fairly far away. So to begin building this farm, go to near the centre of your area, build up by 3 blocks and destroy the bottom 2, so you just have 1 block floating like this. Then build out the side of it by 2 blocks, so that you have 3 blocks like this. Build a support block here, and place 2 blocks here like this. Then repeat this on the other sides, so that you have a rectangle without the corners that should be 3 blocks on one side and 2 on the others. So now you need to expand these outwards by 1 block, like this. This is so that we can place the beds on top in just 1 second. Now place the beds on top, like this. Make sure that the heads of the beds are pointing towards the centre. Now go underneath the beds and destroy the support blocks below. You should now have 10 beds floating in the formation like this. Then, just behind the beds, like this, just place some solid blocks. Also place some solid blocks over the top of the pillow on the bed. And fill in the area that is left here. It overall should be looking like this. Now we're going to place some glass above the ends of the beds. To do this, place down a support block and place glass above each of the beds, like this. You can do the same on all of the sides for the beds. This glass is just going to make sure that the villagers stay in position and don't move around, which is going to make sure that the iron golems spawn correctly. Like this. Now on top, we're going to add an extra layer of blocks. Just place a block on top of all of these already placed solid blocks. This should have filled it in like this. Then in the corners between the beds, just going to place a small little L shape like that. Do the same in all of the other corners. Also, place a solid block in the corner like this. This is just going to allow our villagers to get to their beds correctly. The last thing we need to do before we can add in the villagers is to just place a line of blocks in front of the beds. This is just going to make sure that our villagers can get into the beds correctly once we add them. Now it should be all ready to add the villagers. Now we can get the villagers into the farm now it is night time. There are a few ways you can get them here, but I would recommend sending them in via rail. The villager breeder that I have made, that is in the top right corner if any of you want to watch it, has a connected rail system that will allow you to get the villagers directly out of the farm via rail. So that would be the best way if you built a little minecart rail that drops them off at the top. So for this I'm just going to be using a villager spawn egg to demonstrate. What you will need to do is place down a villager. Make sure he's not a nitwit, which is a green villager or a baby villager. After a few seconds, he should link up to a bed. Watch which bed he goes in first, and just above where his head is, just place some blocks so that we know that this is the head of the first villager's bed. This is because this is going to be the centre of the village, which is where we have to build the farm around. Now we're going to do the same thing, but with more villagers, to make sure that we can fill in all of the 10 beds. Okay, now we have all of the villagers into their beds. Now very quickly, before it becomes daytime, you'll just need to destroy all of these corner blocks here. You'll then have to fill in these corners fully. And then you will need to place some blocks in front of these glass blocks. Now the villagers should be all contained, and you should be able to wait until daytime. So now we need to link the workstations up to the villagers. For this you can use any workstations. I'm just going to be using composters because they're quite easy to make. So first go up top, place it down, and look to see which villager has the green particle effects. Then go down and place the composter or whatever workstation block you're using in front of the villager like this. Then repeat this process with all of the villagers, making sure that it links up correctly, until all of them have a workstation block in front of them. So now, as you can see, all of the villagers have a workstation block in front of them. Now we're ready to move on to the next step of building this farm. Now we need to add some extra beds on top of all of the villagers. This is just so that we can reach the cap of 20 beds required to spawn in iron columns. So to do this, we're just going to place in some beds on top of the glass like this. I would recommend while you're building the farm, leaving one empty. This is just to stop the iron golems spawning until you finish the farm. So now we're going to go directly underneath where this little block pillar is at the centre of the village, and we're going to place a block underneath. As you can see, it's directly below. Then get out a locator map, and we will need to find which corner of this block is the northwestern corner. As you can see, we're currently facing north on this map. The northwestern corner must be the one west up here. This is the northwestern corner. We're then going to surround this by blocks, so this is the centre of a 4x4 square. As you can see, this is our original square here. This is the northwestern corner, and it is in the middle, like this. Then underneath this, we're going to dig down by 2 blocks, like this. This is going to make sure that the hole where the iron golems are going to be going into is directly in the centre of the village that we have created up here. So now we're going to add some hoppers to collect all of the iron ingots. This collection system can be done pretty much however you want, but this is the simplest way to connect it up to a chest. So what you'll need to do is at the bottom of this 2-block deep hole, break down by 2 blocks, break across by a couple, and place in a double chest like this. You can then build a little tunnel going at least about 10 blocks away, although I'd recommend more, to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the farm. Now this will allow us to go down and collect all the loot in that chest. Then back over here, place a hopper going into that chest, and then in these 3 blocks here, we're just going to connect the hoppers all together. This will allow all the items to be filtered down into this chest. Finally, place a block here to make sure that the iron golems or any other creatures that go into here can't escape and run out the tunnel. So now, place some signs at the bottom of this hole. This is going to make sure that all of the lava can't fall down, which will allow the iron golems to go in correctly. Then just place some lava in here like this. You can place 4 lava sources, but it is not necessary. 1 will do exactly the same thing. So now we can break these few blocks here that we placed, and now we can begin to place in the water streams that will push all of the iron golems into here. So on one side of this square, count out by 8 blocks. Do the same for the rest of the sides. And then we're going to build a fence going around this entire area. Like this. You can then destroy these support blocks. This is the area that we'll be using to push the iron golems into the lava. Now we need to place in some water. On 2 sides, place water across the entire length. Then in the 2 corners on the sides that haven't got water, not including this corner block, just place 2 blocks like this. This is going to make sure that we don't accidentally flood this entire area with water source blocks, because we want water streams instead. Then, between these blocks, place more water buckets. Now you can destroy these blocks here. Now the entire area should be flooded in water, and as you can see, all of the water streams head directly to the centre perfectly. So now we're going to add the last few blocks to finish off this farm so that iron golems can spawn. First, we're going to place a block on top of all of these empty blocks. Leave this one empty because we're going to be adding a bed in here in just a second. Like this. Then add another layer of blocks on top of this, including over the beds. Now, in this last space, place down a bed. Now the iron golems will begin to spawn. Last thing you'll need to do before the farm is complete is to place slabs on top of all of this. This is just going to stop the iron golems from spawning on top. So that's the farm completed. The iron golems should begin to spawn fairly soon. As you can see there, one's just spawned in for me now. If you aren't getting any spawning, then remember the villagers will only spawn iron golems in if they have worked in the last Minecraft day. So you may have to wait an entire Minecraft day before it starts working. Apart from that, it should all work and you should be getting iron. Okay, I'm now going to do a 10-minute AFK session at this farm so you can see what the rates are like. So it's been 10 minutes, let's have a look at how many drops we've got from this farm. That's 45 iron ingots in 10 minutes. That's a total of 270 iron ingots per hour, which is not bad at all considering how small this farm is. So that's it for today. That's how to build an iron farm in Minecraft Bedrock. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to see more similar content. If you have any ideas for future videos, please pop them down in the comments. I'm always happy to hear them. Okay, see you next time. Bye!